All right, you ready to like fire up some serious magic? Your deep dive today? Wiccan candle magic.
Yeah.
And judging by the excerpts you sent over, you're not just looking to light a few birthday candles here. You're ready to tap into something powerful.
Absolutely. And what's so captivating about these sources is how they emphasize that candle magic isn't just about like following a recipe. It's about your intention, your energy blending with the natural world to bring about change.
Okay, I love that, but I got to be honest, when I see candle magic, my brain goes straight to like choosing the right color. Green for money, red for love. Am I on the right track?
You're catching on quick. Color is definitely part of the visual language here. But think of it less like a direct command and more like tuning into a specific frequency. Imagine wanting to listen to a rock station on the radio. You'd turn the dial until you hit that perfect rock and roll wavelength. It's about aligning yourself with the energy you want to attract.
Okay, that actually makes a ton of sense. So it's not just the candle itself, it's about what it represents and how it helps focus my intention.
Exactly. The candle acts as a conduit, a physical representation of your will. And speaking of focus, this source talks about the importance of belief in candle magic. It's not enough to just go through the motions. You have to truly believe in your power to affect change.
So it's like the stronger my belief, the stronger the signal I'm sending out.
Exactly.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Now, one thing that really jumped out at me from these excerpts was the connection to the Wiccan Wheel of the Year. Does that come into play here?
Absolutely. The Wheel of the Year is essentially a calendar of 8 festivals, or sabbats, that mark key points in the cycle of nature, and each sabbat carries its own unique energy that you can tap into with candle magic.
Okay, so it's like each Sabbath is like a power-up for a specific kind of magic.
You got it. For example, you sent over a spell for Samhain, which happens around October 31st. It's a time when the veil between the worlds is said to be at its thinnest, making it ideal for connecting with the spirit world and performing divination.
That's right. There was that midnight divination spell using a penny and a nickel. Super simple, but I can see how doing it on Samhain could amplify the results. So it's all about timing and aligning your spell with the right energy.
Precisely. But it's not just the sabbats we need to pay attention to. The lunar cycle, particularly the full moon, acts as a massive amplifier for any magic, adding an extra layer of potency.
So casting a spell during a full moon on a Sabbath that aligns with your intention, that's like hitting the magical jackpot.
Right.
All right, so we've got candles representing our will, colors aligning us with specific energies, and the Wheel of the Year providing these awesome magical power-ups. What else is in our magical toolkit?
Well, aside from candles, the excerpts mention other tools like othams and besoms. Now, I know these might sound intimidating, but they're simply extensions of your will, helping you direct and shape energy.
Okay, I gotta admit, Otham sounds a little intense. Break it down for me. What exactly is it, and how is it used?
An athame is a ritual knife, often used in Wiccan rituals. But don't worry, it's not for any actual cutting. Think of it more as a wand, but with a blade. It's used to direct energy, to cast circles, or even symbolically cut away negativity.
Okay, so more like a conductor's baton than a chef's knife. That makes a lot more sense. What about the besom? I'm picturing like a witch flying around on it.
Well, while it won't get you off the ground, the babism or ritual broom is a powerful tool for cleansing a space. It's about sweeping away stagnant energy, creating a clean slate for your magic to work its wonders.
So it's like hitting the reset button on your magical workspace, clearing out any lingering vibes before you set your intentions.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that the source emphasizes that these tools don't need to be fancy or expensive. A simple white candle can be just as effective as an elaborately carved one, and a homemade besom from found branches can hold just as much power as one from a shop. It all comes back to intention.
That's really empowering. It means anyone can practice this magic, regardless of their budget. Now, speaking of practice, let's get practical. I'm dying to hear more about these spells. We touched on a few, like a Midnight Divination and the Rings of Saturn for protection. But this source mentions spells for attracting love, prosperity, even banishing negativity.
Absolutely. And what's so captivating is the sheer variety. There's a spell for almost every intention imaginable. Take, for instance, the honey jar spell for attracting love.
Ooh, that one sounds sweet. Literally. Tell me more.
It's a classic. You basically take a jar and fill it with honey, herbs like rose petals and lavender, maybe even write down qualities you're looking for in a partner, then seal it with a pink or red candle.
So you're creating this potent little love potion, infusing it with your desire, and sealing it with the energy of the candle.
Precisely. And as the candle burns down, it's thought to release your intention into the universe. But it's not just about attracting external things like love or money. There are also spells for enhancing qualities within yourself.
Oh, like leveling up your personal growth with magic. I'm all about that. What kind of spells are we talking about here? So we've covered love, money, protection. What about inner strength? What if I need a confidence boost before a big presentation? Can candle magic help with that?
Absolutely. That's where spells like the Strength of the Oak come in. It uses a brown candle, often a taper, to symbolize grounding and stability. You then incorporate elements like oak leaves, parsley, and thyme, drawing on their associations with strength and resilience.
So you're basically aligning yourself with the energy of the oak tree, sturdy, unwavering, able to weather any storm. I love
Yeah.
that. It's like borrowing a little bit of their power.
Exactly. And it highlights how candle magic can be so incredibly creative. It's about tapping into correspondences, the connections between the physical and spiritual, to craft a spell that resonates with your specific intention.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I have to ask, what about when things don't go according to plan? Say you're doing a spell and the candle keeps flickering or going out. Is that like a bad sign?
It's not necessarily bad, but it's definitely a sign to pay attention. This source emphasizes that candle magic is a dialogue, not a monologue. So a flickering flame could be a message to reevaluate your intention or to check in with your energy. Are you fully present in the spell, or is your mind elsewhere?
So it's like the universe is giving you real-time feedback. And instead of getting discouraged, you can use those moments to refine your approach. Now, before we wrap things up, I'm curious what stood out to you as particularly fascinating in these sources.
Beyond the specific spells and techniques, what really struck me was the emphasis on personal empowerment. Candle magic isn't about relying on some external force to grant your wishes, right? It's about recognizing the power within yourself to create change.
That's such an important point. It's about harnessing your own energy, your own will, and directing it towards your desired outcome. It's not about passively hoping for the best. It's about actively shaping your reality.
Precisely. And that's incredibly empowering. It means that you are not a victim of circumstance, but an active participant in creating your own destiny.
I love that. So as we extinguish our metaphorical candles on this deep dive, what's one final provocative thought you can leave our listeners with?
Well, we've explored a lot of different aspects of candle magic, from the basics to some more intricate spells. But ultimately, the most powerful magic comes from within. So I encourage you to listen to your intuition, experiment, and discover what works best for you. What unique blend of candle magic will you create?